Everyone enjoys getting out on the town for some live music. And there's nothing like going backstage and down the hall for a VIP pass to the inside information and interviews with the bands, singers, and songwriters that you enjoy. Welcome to Hall Around Town Radio's Backstage Hall Pass, a showcase of homegrown talent, mixing independent music with personal interviews and a behind-the-scenes look at our music community. Backstage Hall Pass is your front row center seat to some great conversation with the area's most talented artists. Whether you like rock, blues, folk, country, or R&B, Backstage Hall Pass delivers you a daily dose of the stories behind the music. And now, here's the host of our show, Scott Hall.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're doing okay. Let me turn this thing down that's on the background here that's making all that noise. How you doing out there on a Wednesday? It is Wednesday with the band today at All Around Town Radio, coming to you here in the 3 o'clock hour. We've been bouncing these around a little bit and enjoying doing them with the local music scene. And today, I'm going to bring into the show here real quick, like if I can. Let's talk to Mr. Travis Saunders. And he's with us from the Partytown band. How you doing, Travis?
Doing great. Glad to be here. Thanks for having us.
Glad to have you with us, man. We got some people checking in already. Hi, Darren. Hi, Mike Sievers, Stephen Bell, Chris and Kenny. Got a lot of people in there. If you're out there, guys, throw us a shout out. Darren giving a shout out there to Partytown. We'll put that one up. That's a great picture there, Darren. Your profile picture, man. I'm not real sure about that, Travis.
That's our guitarist, he says.
Is it? All right. Hi, Tom. Well, it's good to have you with us today, Travis, and we're going to talk about your band. And for those that are watching our platform here who may not know a lot about you, let's first of all say how Partytown became a band, man. It's been together longer than I knew.
Yeah, it's not, known a lot. We don't play out a whole lot, but it came about. I've been in a lot of bands, been doing it for about 20 years, and I was always in bands that I would say is more musician-driven, democracy type of band. And there's a lot of songs I'd be like, hey, I want to do this song. And they'd say, well, no, this song's much better on the same album. It's like this third song. I'm like, yeah, but nobody knows that song. So it got to the point where I'm like, I'm just going to start this band and do the music I want, a variety. And I like to do a little bit of country, a little bit of rock, a little bit of pop. And, sometimes you get with guys that are like, oh, I won't play no country, or whatever. So that's how it all started, just to do something I thought would work.
So, well, bands always evolve. I mean, they do. The players come in, they come out and change. Very, very few times do I have many bands on here that have been together for 25 years, all the same guys. Somebody's
Right.
always checking in, checking out over something. But you guys have played a bunch of things, and especially in the Cincinnati area, some big events like Get a Fest, Great American Ballpark. Gosh, you played a lot of my favorite haunts down there, the Knotty Pine, Rick's Tavern. You get around a lot, I see, but you say you'd rather do quality over quantity, huh? You don't play as much as some of the bands, but you guys get out when you do a show, you get a packed house. I understand.
Yep. You want to go out and just have a good show. I mean, we could go out every weekend and, make a little bit of money, but, for me, it's just about getting out and having a good time. And I think in my experience, I did play in a band. We played out a lot, one of the first bands I played out. And after about 6 months, I just got burnt out. So I think by also, spreading it out a little bit, you stay fresh. And I think people can see on stage if you're having fun. So we're really having fun. So.
Well, as we go today, guys, if you're out there watching, as we're talking to Travis here from Partytown, if you have a question or a comment you want to make, put it in the comments. We'll throw it up there so it can be seen on the screen. So, Travis, you yourself, you say you've been playing for about 20 years. The band's been together roughly 8 years. You playing the same type of music you played 8 years ago, or does that evolve as well?
It's got to evolve, and it's still an ever evolving door. You basically, like I've talked to my members, and it's like you try a song, but don't work, you take it out. You got another song you think will work. It depends on you never know what kind of crowd you're going to have, really, age group, anything. So I usually try to stick to something that will hit a broad age range, and that way usually it's a more chance of a hit than a miss. So.
Well, don't you think a lot of times too, I mean, it depends on the venue whether a song works or not. I've heard a lot of bands tell me that what works in one place may be a flop in another, just depending on the demographic of the crowd and all that. And you got to read that room a little bit. Do you change your set list up through the night if you see that maybe what's on our list isn't going to quite work with the crowd? Can you change it up on the fly, or do you stick with that set list?
We can, but typically, there are a lot of times we'll play this a venue that we played before, and it's usually I kind of know what to expect from that venue, like Elberg's, Drink Some More. We play there quite often, and so I kind of know already what not to do and what to do. And then like we've got a festival coming up where it's probably going to be a bigger variety, and we'll change it up for that too. Where you know we've got songs we can put in, take out. I usually don't do it on the fly. It's usually premeditated ahead of time and kind of just
Premeditated. I like that word, premeditated. Yeah,
yeah.
there you go.
Put
I
a lot
love
more
the fact
time
that
into thinking about set lists than you would think.
I love the fact the birds are singing in the background, and then maybe a couple
Yep.
weeks we won't be able to do this outside thing because the cicadas will be eating you alive there as you're sitting there. But it's cool to have you outside and the warm weather we're having today and all that. And I'm glad to have you here on the show. And I want to know a little bit more. I want to dig a little deeper into the band. If I were to come see a Partytown show, what kind of songs can I expect? What am I going to hear?
Well, it's basically just what the name implies, Party Town. We do party music, and I stick to the big hits, what gets played a lot. So if you were to come out, I would say mostly rock. So I do a little bit of classic rock, and I'm getting a little older now, so what's classic rock is a little bit different opinion now. But we'll do some, like American Band, for example, is one of the older songs we may do. Well, we just added "Come Together" not too long ago. We would do the Aerosmith version, but I know that was Beatles, Aerosmith, and it just had a remake now, so that's why I like that because it's hitting a broad variety of age groups. But then we'll do Big Hair, can't go wrong with some Bon Jovi, and pour some sugar on me. We do a little bit of Billy Idol, but then we did a lot of country. We've taken a lot in and out. I'm a fan of country. It's more rock and roll now to me than rock and roll. So I do like a lot of that. Mostly what works is Jason Aldean or Luke Bryan. So I would say typically we do about 6 to 8 country songs a night. And then we'll do mostly rock, classic new, a little bit of alternative, maybe like a little bit of Green Day, but then we'll also do some Bruno Mars and try to
So
mix it up. And
you're throwing a little bro country in there, as I refer to it sometimes,
exactly.
the newer stuff. All right.
I've
Yeah,
tried a lot.
Mike Bates is laughing at you saying classic rock. I was just getting ready to say, man, your definition of classic rock may be different than mine, depending on our age range. But you mentioned some great songs there. I mean, songs that are in my wheelhouse when it comes to classic rock.
Well, yeah, try to fit in everybody's wheelhouse, so that's what you got to do. But it is funny you said country because I've tried so many country songs that are typically hits, and then type of venues like we said, like you mentioned earlier, they just don't always go over. So you kind of got to play something that's known maybe as a country song to people that don't listen to country a lot. Like one we're going to add is was it Beer Never Broke My Heart, and we got a new bass player, Ryan Cunningham, and he likes Luke Combs, and I was like, well, let's do the Beer Never Broke My Heart because people that don't know country even know that song.
Yeah, I agree. And, I hear a lot of people, and I work with a lot of country bands as through the show and all that. And so many people are haters of this new country, yet you go to a place and you hear Luke Bryan come on and the dance floor fills up and all the girls are partying and all that. It's all about making the crowd happy, so you can sit in the corner and be a country hater or whatever for new country. And I'm not a huge fan of it either, but I love old school country and that kind of thing. But on the other hand, it's working, and it works
Right.
for when you say Party Town, it tells me you guys are bringing a party and people are going to get up and dance. Thank God we can do that now and get back out there. It's so nice that we're back out and about and everybody's starting to come back together and do these things. But you guys, you have 5 guys in the band, right? And tell me a little bit about the band here so people that don't know you get to know you a little more.
Well, I would have to start with my longest member, Mr. Darren Wesley. He has been with me the longest, and he's our rhythm guitar player. He plays a couple leads. But really, when I asked him to join the band, it was because of his vocals. He brings a different style than what I do. And I've said it many times before that even if you have a great singer of the band, it kind of gets old if you have to listen to the same singer all night. So Darren, he can sing anything from he does a couple AC/DC songs. He'll do Nickelback, Rockstar. He does "We're Not Going to Take It" by Twisted Sister. So he's got that little bit of voice that to be able to do other songs that I may not sound great doing. And but it's funny because he is a big fan of like Judas Priest and like Dio and all these bands, but he's saying moves like Jagger because I asked him to before. So he's a team player, and he'll definitely do what it takes to get the dance floor up and moving.
Okay, well, I'm hearing a lot of great songs you're kind of pitching out there. That sounds like a real variety of stuff that you play. And so, how do you know when to time those songs throughout the evening? Like, when to throw the country in versus if you're going to go with AC/DC or something. I mean, what's is there a special timing, or like you said, is that set list blended already? That's how it's going to progress, or what do you do with that?
It's a trick. But
I was going to say it's got to be
Jimmy
magic.
King from NKG, he said it to me best. We've talked before. We're friends with them, and he said you kind of got to get the songs to shake hands when you're changing from one thing to the other, which can be tricky if you're going from country to a pop to a classic rock. And I guess a lot of songs can work together and fit together. Like we do Turn Up the Radio. That song isn't really a dance song, so that's usually
Autograph.
the song we do of the night. So we
Yeah.
do that first of the night, then we do Round and Round usually, and then we kind of start work our way into the dance songs because that's about the time you get people up. I try to finish strong at the end of a set with either a really strong dance song or just maybe a rock song. Because as much as I like to do party songs, I also like to maybe throw one in there just to show that we can still kick some butt too, and still rock it out. Like we do a Bad Girlfriend. But anyways, I forgot to mention some of the other guys in the band.
Yeah, let's mention them all. And shout out to Jimmy King, by the way, for that quote, because that's excellent. The songs have to shake hands. I love that idea. And that's
what I said. Makes
no
sense.
truer words. Yeah, it does.
Yeah. And then if you're changing styles too to a different set of music that doesn't really shake hands, we'll stop for a minute because I don't like dead time. So we usually run songs together, and then if that does happen, maybe stop, everybody take a drink, how you doing, and then pick back up. But also, who's been with me for 8 years is Mr. Vinnie Ferrelli. He's played around in many bands, Funky Town, Marsha Brady. He's playing with Sweet Sister Mercy now, Strange Love. He makes it all around, but he has. I think I've been the band that he's been in the longest, so I'm pretty proud of that. And
Vinny playing the drums. Vinny playing
that?
drums. Is Vinny playing drums?
Guitar.
No, he's playing guitar.
Lead guitar.
All right.
Drums, Mr. Matt Bond. He played with Polecats for a while before that ended, and he's great. He's Darren Wesley said not too long ago, my guitarist said that he really helps keep the flow of the show going. So it's kind of an important thing too when you got somebody that's kind of like making sure you keep it going because you're there for entertainment, not to just sit up there and tune your stuff and talk like, hey, what do you want to play next?
Right. Oh yeah, that just makes my hair stand on end, man. When somebody looks back and says, "Hey guys, what do you want to play next?" We should know what we're playing next if we're out there in front of a crowd most of the time.
And then last but not least, and the newest member of the band playing with us for the first time is Mr. Ryan Cunningham, former singer of the Doppelgangsters, and that ended a couple years ago. So members of his band moved out of town, and so I just reached out to him not too long ago when we were in need, and he's fitting in nice. I'm pretty excited. He's pretty excited. He's, like I said, he was the lead singer, so he brings some good backing vocals as well as lead vocals. So we're going to start implementing that more too. Where, like I said, we changed up vocalists. So you got 3 different guys singing. It's not, me majority, but you got these guys chiming in with a different sound. It makes it more entertaining, I think.
Right. And, I want to mention out there, we're getting a lot of comments here. Michelle Lamb said she's seen you all. You rock faces off. Darren says Matt is your conductor. He mentioned there. And Allie threw in there coolest dad for sure. Just so you know.
I am the coolest dad for sure. So she's right
Are
about
you?
that. Love that.
All right. There you go. And you when you play, obviously, being the when somebody sees the word Partytown, and I'm going to keep dwelling on that band name, that means a whole lot to me. When I hear that word, I think, well, this is going to be an upbeat band. This isn't going to be a technical band who you sit and say, oh, they hit that melodic note really nice. This is a band that's got the room pumping. How did you pick that name? What was the reason for it?
I just come up with it out of nowhere. If anybody said the band stuff, which you guys were doing Red Hot, was it Red Hot Riot? That
Yeah.
was on before with you
Mhm.
guys. Like
Yeah.
I like that name, like I said, and it's just really hard. It came to me. It's always been a thing where I've been in other bands and we've battled over band names. And yeah, originally it was Partytown USA for about 2 months, and then that's just too long. So then I
Right.
shortened it to Partytown. It's got to be memorable. I wanted something that you can remember. Because it's really tough because people get confused. The only thing they confuse it with is party time, and that's okay. Hey, party time, party town. You're in the general vicinity, so
Well, it's always party time with Partytown. How's that?
right,
We'll
right.
just throw that out there to everybody. So I want to add a few more things in before we get into your schedule of events and what you guys have going on, so people can come out and see you. And I do want to remind everybody we have on the show here, and I want to make sure that everyone knows that Partytown, okay, out there, there's a shameless plug. You can
Yeah,
follow them on Facebook. You should go like their page and follow what they're doing. That's the greatest way you can support musicians in this community, besides going out and seeing a show. Like their page and then share some things. If you see a show you think your friends might like, just take a minute and share it on your page. It really goes like wildfire when you do those kind of things. When people share my show, Travis, I mean, there's times that the numbers just go through the roof because a few people shared it out there on their platform. So we appreciate everybody that's on today. If you guys are out there and you want to give us a comment, please throw it in. We'd love to hear it. Mike Bates says at least they're ready to party. Yeah, you are ready to party, aren't you? What else you
yep.
want to share about the band? Let's share a few more inside secrets here. You've got to have some. Every band's got inside secrets.
Well, I won't say inside secrets, but I did want to touch on like where the logo came up from, which is Darren Wesley helped me design it. It took me a long time because I think that's pretty important too. I've sold a lot of shirts. I've sold about $5,000 worth of shirts, and that was just my first 4 years. Anyways, but uh, I like what defines Party Town. I was like, man, what is it, And then I looked through a bunch of art, and I came across the Mud Flap Girl. I told Darren, I said, what says party more than a girl drinking beer, right? So he
Yeah,
added it. He made signs, so he added the extra arm drinking the beer, and then the extra leg, and then he did the logo like that, which that was one thing I did wanted to touch on because it's a kind of a hard thing to do to come up with a good band logo, and it's always been the same. I like it. My drummer Matt's like, "Oh, you really love that logo?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do." So, um,
well, yeah, it's
any
all
the
about the
other kind of
brand, man.
yeah,
It's all about the
people know it.
brand.
Any other
Yeah.
not really secrets, but yeah, it's high energy. That's my goal. There's sometimes maybe somebody suggests a slow song, and when I put my set list together and I'm figuring, okay, we're getting these songs down, and I hate to slow it down. I just want to keep it going and going. But people do got to take a break and go to the bathroom, get a drink. So people can't be up dancing, partying all night. So we try to throw a couple in there, but I don't know
Well,
about any
yeah,
secrets.
it's a fine line too because the venue wants them to buy some drinks. That's what
Right,
they're there for. And if you keep the whole dance floor packed the entire evening and people don't even go get a drink, that's kind of counterproductive for the venue. But
exactly.
it was fun. I did a show over the weekend with Don't Tell Steve down at the casino there in Lawrenceburg, and they have strict rules about how long you can play because they want you to take at least a half-hour break every hour so people can go gamble, and go hit
Right.
those slot machines and all that. So that's a different type of thing to deal with as well. And I know you've got secrets because you guys have played the Easy Riders Rodeo, right?
Well, actually, we're scheduled for the first time this year. We were scheduled last year, but got COVID canceled. So
Well, you'll have secrets after that event. Trust me.
after that, we should have some.
or at least good pictures, one or the other. I'm not
That's
sure.
probably going to be our biggest show just because they got a national act. I'm not sure they got yet. They're supposed to let me know, but it's just set up. They got a huge stage. I mean, who could ask for more
Yeah.
building crowd than that? It's
Yeah, that'll be
like a
fun. That'll be a
party.
great one for you guys. And you've got something coming up this weekend. You're playing this weekend. So why don't you tell everybody about that? You're playing a 2-day show.
Yeah, we really don't usually do a back-to-back show, and we're doing one at Peacocks or Langers. So we'll be playing Friday and Saturday night, and love for you guys to come out, support our band, and welcome our new bass player, Mr. Ryan Cunningham, and hopefully y'all like it and have a good time. So I want you guys to come out and have a good time with us. Pick Friday or Saturday or both.
And I got to ask you, you've got the hat on today, but in that picture I just posted up, looks like a genuine mohawk going on. Is there any truth to that?
Any trick?
No, any truth to it? I mean, is there a real
Oh
mohawk
yeah,
under that hat?
it's it takes a lot of work sometimes and is aggravating, and but it does get, a lot of attention. I've went out to see other bands a lot in the past, and if I go in my ball cap, nobody recognizes me. But if I want to get recognized, I just put the mohawk up, and everybody says, "Hey, it's Travis, Partytown." So it's one of those things that kind of just happened. I used to spike my hair, and then it got too long, and I put it into a mohawk. And Darren Wesley had a mohawk, and we got him a little bit tall, and then I've had him pretty tall, but I try not to go too crazy because then it's just aggravating. But yeah, it's definitely, I guess, it's more of a gimmick. We don't really have a gimmick, so I guess, like I told you earlier when we talked before the show, is if they can't remember the band, maybe they'll at least remember, hey, the guys with the mohawks.
Hey, that's all right. That's a good brand too. I mean, you got to be remembered for something, you know. I mean, there's been a
A lot
lot
of
of
people say, "You guys play
superstars.
punk music?" I'm like, "No, we don't play
No,
punk music. Punk rockers."
but it looks that way sometimes. But I'm looking at your dates here you sent me, and you're playing a whole bunch of stuff coming up, and not only that Peacock's gig this weekend, but Quaker Steak and Lube out in Milford. I see you've got
June
coming
9th.
up in June, and
Yep,
then
June 9th.
Taps Taste and Tunes Festival. That's a good one, and that's
Yeah,
going on in
we're leading into the
July.
fireworks. We'll be playing 6 to 9 on Sunday right before they start the fireworks, so we should have a good crowd.
And Party on the Purple, I see too. That's a good one.
Hopefully got the bridge
Uh,
fixed by then.
yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? So that thing doesn't fall in the Ohio River, but that'd be a good thing. And then you've got a whole list of things as we go down there, and people can find out your dates on your Facebook page. Is that correct?
Yes, yeah, I think I've got them all posted. We're out at Elberg's on Halloween and New Year's Eve. We played there this will be our 4th year playing in New Year's Eve at Elberg's, which I love because they never charge a cover charge ever, not even on New Year's Eve. They had a line out the door all night last year. It was pretty awesome. And it's always a great show because they don't close till 3:30 and the kitchen stays open till 3.
Wow, that's a party,
It is.
literally.
So people coming in when people leave at 1, and some Ohio bars are still coming in at 1.
That's nuts, man. That's crazy. Well, what else you have to share today, Travis? Anything else we want to talk about with the Party Town band before I hit you with some of my tough questions at the end?
Uh-oh, the tough question.
The tough
No,
questions.
I guess, the Party Town band, what I want to tell people is that, we're just do a high energy show. I value my home time with the family, so I've always just tried to play out 1 to 2 shows a month. That's maybe why you haven't seen us that much. We're looking for quality shows, and we just want to go out and have a good time, get people involved. Um, as everybody knows, if you work and did original music and all that stuff, you've only got this amount of time to dedicate to something you love to do, and that's music for me. And what I love doing the most is performing. So, like, actually being on stage, that's the great part. When you're getting the response and the reaction back, that makes it better. Everything else is pretty much a headache when it comes to bands. So that's what we do it for. And if you guys come out and have a great time, let us know what you want to hear, what you didn't like, or what you do like. I mean, we're always open to criticism, and we just want to go out and give a high energy show, let people have fun, let us have fun with us. And that's pretty much what we're about, just having a good time and enjoying it while we're out there.
Well, the set list sounds fantastic. I'm looking forward to seeing you play. I'm going to get to one of those shows you sent me on the list and
We'd love to
check it
have
out
you.
for sure. We'd love to be there and give a little report on you on our weekend update and all that fun stuff. But I've got a question I ask every musician that comes on the show, and you may have heard it before if you've been on, but it is this: if you could get on stage and perform with any superstar, past or present, who would it be?
Ooh, past or present kind of makes it a little more difficult.
Yeah, that's my stumper of the day there.
I would say if I could perform with anybody, it'd probably be Kid Rock.
Good. That's a good one. I have not had that one. I've been thrown a loop by a lot of people with different artists that they say, but that's a good one. And why would you pick Kid Rock? What's your reason behind that?
I would pick Kid Rock because I'm a big hair fan too, so I've always liked Bon Jovi. Brett Michaels would be right there, but the reason I picked Kid Rock is because I been to a couple of his concerts. I know a little bit about his history, and the reason I picked him is because I think he has a big taste of variety of music, kind of like me. So I've been to his shows, and he likes country, he likes pop, he likes a little bit of everything. So it's kind of like, not that we're the same person at all, but that would be the thing I would think that we could find some common ground on and probably have fun.
There you go. Kid Rock. And where did you first start playing music, Travis? How old were you when you first decided I want to play music?
I was my buddy stopped by my house when I was like 23. I already had uh, 2 kids, and my buddy said, "Hey, we got this bass player. He's a drummer, and he died last year, which I won't dive into that, but good friend of mine. And he, him, and another guy I know was a guitarist drummer. They had a bass player and a singer. And he's like, hey, come over, check out this bass player and singer. They're really good. They were just playing out in the front yard. So I'm like, sure, we'll come over. We come over, they don't show up. So he's like, they're like, hey, Travis, you know all these songs. Why don't you get up and sing? And I'm like, nah. Well, I got up and sang. I've actually seen some videos, and it wasn't very great. But we just kept continuing to play. We played for like 2 more years, maybe like a year and a half, and a lot of CCR, a lot of Bad Company, a lot of Poison, Originals, and that was kind of like where it all started. And then that all kind of ended. I guess everybody kind of got burnt out, and I just kept on going and found some other guys to play with, and just didn't stop. I think the longest I ever quit was like 6 months, and it was like, time to get back to doing it. So musicians know, or singers or performers, it's like, it's not like we're getting rich out here.
No, yeah, that's not happening at all.
You just got to do it.
Well, thank you for that comment, Scotty Long. Appreciate that. We have had such pleasure having you on here, and for the folks out there watching, and those, we're gonna have a lot of people watch this after we're live because we're on at this obscure time here on a Wednesday today. But for those of you that are watching or watching after the fact, please make some comments, and don't forget to go over and check out Partytown's page and like that page so you can follow what they're doing. And Travis, we were brought together here kind of weird. It was strange. Travis shot me a phone call just at the right moment to be on this week because bands are notorious sometimes for canceling. They get these things set up, and then it's, oh, I've got laryngitis, I can't do it. No, okay, whatever, But we had a band that canceled, couldn't be on with us today, and Travis stepped in. So I appreciate you doing that. And it was weird how it was brought together, but it was like, yeah, let's just pull it off tomorrow.
Just
and
fate,
we
wasn't
did
it, Scott?
It was, my friend, and you've been on the show quite a bit. You've popped into the show here and there, and
I've seen congratulations on your show too. I know everybody really is happy about what you're doing, and all the support you show all the bands around the community. Everybody really appreciates it. I can tell you that.
Well, I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate you connecting with us here and letting the people that are at least out and about that don't know your band know a little bit more about it, and they can find out a whole lot more on your page if they will. And get over there and do that, folks. We appreciate you all supporting these local musicians. And like Travis said it best a minute ago, they're not in it to make a fortune, okay? These guys, most bands that we have on our show are not looking to be on the national stage and being up there with 100,000 people watching them. They're just out having fun because they have a passion and love for music, and that's the cool part about all this. And sounds to me like you guys have a awesome variety of music that you play, and how you play that many genres in a night and make it work. I've got to come see. So I'm going to definitely come see one of your shows.
I'd love to have you. And Peacocks this weekend. Anybody wants to come out, don't forget about us. And Scott, thanks again for having us. I appreciate all the support, and this is great for us, and the exposure we're kind of looking forward is to get our name out there to the people that don't know it. So thanks again.
Well, Travis, we appreciate you, man. And I'm going to check out of here with you. Stay on with me until I shut the show down. I'll talk to you after the show in just for a second here. And folks, we appreciate you being with us here on Wednesday with the band. I've been on with Travis Saunders, and he is from Partytown, and you can check Partytown out on Facebook, if you will, as well. I'm going to get out of here for the day, and please share this show with your friends, enemies, or whoever it is out there that you want to share it with. I'm going to check out for the day. We'll be back with you at 5 o'clock tomorrow for Who's Playing Out, brought to you by Froggies in Monroe, Ohio, where we feature the best bands in the tri-state and where they're playing for the weekend. Let you plan your weekend of music. We're going to see you this weekend at several shows. I'll be at the Blue Note on Saturday at Dreamboat Annie. If you're there, please look us up and say hi, guys. Thanks for watching today. We appreciate you being with us at All Around Town Radio Wednesday with the band. We'll see you tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Bye, everybody.